Have you ever found yourself wondering, what if I had known this sooner? We all have those moments where we wish we had discovered something earlier in life, something that could have saved us time, frustration, and unnecessary struggles. Stoic philosophy offers just that, a collection of powerful teachings that, if understood and applied, can completely reshape how we experience life. These aren't just ancient ideas confined to dusty books. They are living, breathing lessons that have the potential to guide us toward a more meaningful existence. Looking back, it's painful to realize how often we've let time slip away, focusing on things that didn't really matter, things that, in the end, didn't bring us closer to peace or fulfillment. How many times have we been overwhelmed by negative emotions, struggled to find our worth in the approval of others, or lost patience during the most challenging moments? If I could go back in time, I would carry these Stoic lessons with me, using them to light my path and live a life full of purpose, rather than letting those moments of uncertainty define me. In this video, I'm excited to share 7 Stoic lessons that I wish I had learned sooner. These principles aren't just abstract ideas, they are practical tools that help us take control of our emotions, understand our true value, and continuously grow. Whether you're just starting your journey or are further along, these lessons can be applied at any stage to create a more fulfilling, balanced life. So let's dive in together and explore these transformative philosophies that have the power to change how we live, think, and grow. Number 1, self-sufficiency and independence. In the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, self-sufficiency and independence are not just admirable traits. They are the foundation of a truly fulfilling life. If only I had embraced these truths earlier, how differently I might have faced the many crossroads and storms of life. These principles aren't about isolation or arrogance. They are about owning your life fully, standing firm in your values, and becoming someone who doesn't merely react to the world, but consciously responds to it. Self-reliance is not just about handling your responsibilities. It's about cultivating the inner strength to make decisions with clarity and live with intention. Far too often, we surrender ourselves to the expectations of others. We wear masks to fit in, say yes when our soul is screaming no, and allow the opinions of others to shape our identity. But let me ask you this: can we ever live a truly free and full life if we are constantly dancing to someone else's tune? Even Jesus, in his divine wisdom, urged, "Take up your cross and follow me." That call wasn't about burdening us. It was about empowerment. It was a reminder that no one else can walk your path for you. You must take ownership of your journey, even when the road is uphill. True self-reliance means having the courage to face challenges head-on and the resilience to rise again when life knocks you down. It means not expecting others to rescue you or solve your problems, but instead developing the grit to endure and the wisdom to grow. In today's world, it's easy to see how this is missing. Many young adults still rely on their families for not only support, but decision-making. When we constantly lean on others, we weaken the muscle of personal responsibility. Over time, this erodes both confidence and clarity, leaving us more confused than empowered. On the other hand, those who cultivate independence early on carry themselves differently. They have a quiet confidence that doesn't boast, but simply knows. They take calculated risks, make bold choices, and move forward despite setbacks. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, embodied this beautifully. Though surrounded by luxury and power, he never allowed those external things to define him. His reflections and meditations show a man determined to control only what lay within his power: his thoughts, his actions, his integrity. "Do not waste time on what you cannot control," he wrote. And what a powerful truth that is. Choosing to live independently is not about cutting people off. It's about building a solid foundation within yourself so that you don't crumble when others walk away. It's about knowing where your responsibilities lie and stepping up with strength rather than waiting for someone else to show you the way. The road of self-reliance is not the easiest path, but it is the one that leads to personal freedom, resilience, and growth. And isn't that what we're truly searching for? Let's not mistake independence for stubborn pride. Accepting help when needed is wise, but the essence of self-sufficiency lies in not depending on others for your sense of worth, direction, or strength. You are the author of your life story, No one else can write it for you. And the sooner we embrace this, the more powerfully we begin to live, not just survive, but thrive. So wherever you are in your journey, remember this. Self-reliance is not a destination, but a daily decision. With every step you take to own your thoughts, your choices, and your path, you become stronger, freer, and more at peace. The Stoics knew it, and Jesus affirmed it. We are meant to carry our own cross, not as a burden, but as a mark of purpose. Start today, and you'll begin to see just how capable, resilient, and whole you truly are. Number 2, emotional control. You're in a heated discussion with a friend about a sensitive topic. Emotions start to rise, and it feels like the conversation is about to spiral out of control. But you take a deep breath, listen intently, and decide to respond with understanding instead of defense. The conversation shifts. What was once an argument becomes a moment of connection. Your ability to control your emotions transformed the outcome and strengthened the relationship. Life doesn't always go as planned. A harsh word from a loved one, a sudden financial setback, or an unexpected disappointment can throw us off balance. In these moments, emotions rise like waves, threatening to drown our peace. But here's a question worth asking. Can we build a truly meaningful life if we let every emotion decide our direction? According to Stoic wisdom, the answer is no. To thrive, we must learn to feel fully, yet respond wisely. The Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius, understood this deeply. In Meditations, he wrote not as a philosopher seated in calm, but as a man burdened with responsibility, war, and personal loss. Yet he constantly reminded himself and us that our power lies in how we choose to respond. Emotions are not enemies. They are part of our human experience. But when we allow them to dominate our decisions, we often find ourselves on roads we never meant to walk. Emotional control doesn't mean suppression, it means stewardship. Let me share a story. I remember a close friend who lost his job unexpectedly. Shock turned to anger, and anger turned to blame. He lashed out at his family, isolated himself, and nearly ruined important relationships. But over time, with support and self-reflection, he began to face his emotions rather than react from them. He journaled, sought guidance, and practiced stillness. Slowly, he rebuilt, not just his career, but his inner peace. He told me later, losing my job wasn't the real battle. It was learning how to face myself that changed everything. This is the essence of emotional control, not pretending you're okay, but choosing not to let the chaos within create chaos outside. We see this lesson echoed in the life of Jesus as well. When faced with betrayal, false accusations, and cruelty, he didn't strike back with wrath. Instead, he responded with grace, silence, and purpose. That kind of self-mastery isn't weakness, it's power. His peace in the midst of conflict wasn't a miracle. It was the result of deep, unwavering emotional discipline. And he invites us into that same strength. In our fast-paced, high-pressure world, emotions can easily spiral out of control. Deadlines, misunderstandings, social tension, they all test our ability to stay calm. But here's the truth. How we manage our emotions shapes the quality of our lives. Studies show that emotionally intelligent people experience more success, better health, and deeper joy. Why? Because they know how to respond instead of react. They know when to speak and when to stay silent. They know when to walk away, not in weakness, but in wisdom. And remember this, emotional control is not a one-time lesson. It's a practice, a daily decision to pause, to breathe, and to choose a better response. You don't have to get it perfect every time, but each moment you choose peace over panic, patience over anger, clarity over chaos, you grow. You become more grounded, more resilient, more free. So ask yourself from a place of honesty and growth, are you guiding your emotions or are they guiding you? When the storm comes, and it will you be thrown around by every wave or will you learn to stand firm? Let's talk about it. Share your journey below. You're not alone, and your strength might just inspire someone else. Number 3, embracing your inherent value. Have you ever asked yourself, What is my true value? In a world that often measures success by wealth, appearances, and social status, it's easy to get lost in the illusion that our worth is defined by what we have or how others see us. But does true worth lie in our possessions, our career achievements, or the number of likes we get on social media? Real value comes from understanding who we truly are, our values, passions, and the way we live in alignment with them. When we tap into this, we discover a deeper sense of worth that doesn't depend on external praise or material success. True value comes from within and is sustained by living with integrity and purpose, regardless of what the world may say. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. Before becoming a global media mogul, Oprah faced numerous struggles, from childhood poverty to being told she wasn't fit for television. Early on, her value wasn't seen by others, and many thought she was not good enough. But Oprah knew her worth wasn't defined by others' opinions. She once said, "You become what you believe." Oprah's journey was one of unwavering self-belief, despite the criticism and setbacks. Her worth was rooted in her vision, her resilience, and her determination to live her truth. In Stoic philosophy, personal worth is seen as a reflection of self-awareness and the mastery over our own actions. Imagine your worth as an unshakable foundation, deeply rooted in your values and the way you choose to live. No matter what others think or say, when you know who you are, your worth remains unmovable and constant. It's not about impressing the world, but about being true to yourself and your principles. However, it's not always easy to stand firm in this truth. Society constantly bombards us with standards of beauty, success, and happiness. We may feel pressured to conform, to measure up to what others have achieved, or to look a certain way to be accepted. Think about the person who feels inferior because they are not at the same stage in life as others. But here's the key. Your worth is not defined by external standards or comparisons. It's defined by your commitment to living authentically, by honoring your own journey, and by knowing that your value isn't contingent on meeting the world's expectations. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "A man is not good because of what he does, but because of the way he does it." Our worth isn't measured by external accomplishments or recognition, but by the sincerity with which we live our lives and the values we choose to uphold. When we live true to ourselves, our worth becomes evident, not to others, but to ourselves. So I challenge you today. Are you allowing others to define your worth, or are you choosing to honor your own value from within? True worth is found in being unapologetically yourself, in trusting your journey, and in living with integrity, no matter the external pressures. Remember, your worth is inherent, and it doesn't fluctuate with the changing tides of the world. It is unwavering just as you are. Number 4, the power of patience and acceptance. Have you ever found yourself questioning, why isn't life unfolding the way I want it to? We've all experienced those moments when things seem out of our control and frustration rises within us. In times like these, patience and acceptance aren't just helpful. They are the keys to navigating life's turbulence with grace and wisdom. Stoic philosophy offers us profound lessons on how to approach adversity, teaching us that these two qualities are not about merely enduring life's challenges, but transforming how we relate to them. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." There are countless things in life beyond our control, whether it's the unpredictable weather, the choices made by others, or the inevitable nature of aging and death. While we may not be able to alter these events, we can change how we respond. Patience helps us resist the urge to act impulsively in the face of adversity, while acceptance allows us to find peace in situations that are outside our grasp. This lesson is beautifully illustrated in the teachings of Jesus. When he said, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you," he wasn't merely advocating for forgiveness. He was calling for acceptance, a deep, unwavering acceptance that life will not always go the way we want, and that we must learn to find peace with it, even in the face of hardship. By embracing patience and acceptance, we can love even those who challenge us the most, without letting negative emotions take control. Imagine the person facing a terminal illness, someone battling cancer or another chronic condition. This person must navigate physical pain, uncertainty, and the weight of knowing their future is uncertain. For them, patience is essential as they endure long, difficult treatments. But even more crucial is acceptance, not resignation, but the understanding that some things are beyond their control. Accepting the reality of their situation doesn't mean giving up. Rather, it's an act of finding peace in the midst of difficulty, knowing that not everything is within our power to change. Similarly, parenting offers a powerful example of patience and acceptance. Every stage of raising a child comes with its own set of challenges, from sleepless nights with infants to the emotional roller coaster of adolescence. It can be tempting for parents to try to control their children's every decision and ensure they meet specific expectations. But the true beauty of parenting lies in accepting that every child is on their own journey. Patience enables parents to navigate the highs and lows, while acceptance helps them create an environment of love and trust, allowing their children to grow into their own selves. Patience and acceptance, as taught by both Stoicism and the teachings of Jesus, go far beyond mere endurance. They are transformative practices that allow us to live more peacefully and meaningfully. Life's challenges are inevitable, but how we respond to them determines not just the quality of our lives, but our ability to find joy, growth, and peace amidst life's storms. In this pursuit of patience and acceptance, we come to realize that the key to a fulfilled life doesn't lie in controlling everything around us, but in mastering the way we approach and accept the unpredictable nature of life. It's about letting go of the need for perfection and learning to embrace the present moment, trusting that, in time, things will unfold as they should. Number 5, selective trust. Have you ever asked yourself, what beliefs are truly guiding me through life? In the Stoic tradition, what we believe is more than a set of ideas. It's the lens through which we experience the world and the foundation upon which we build our lives. The beliefs we hold aren't just theoretical concepts. They are the forces that shape how we respond to challenges, make decisions, and ultimately determine the quality of our lives. Life is filled with uncertainty and surprises. When unexpected hardships arise, we can often feel overwhelmed by events that seem beyond our control. But in these moments, the beliefs we choose to adopt act as the compass that steers us through the storm. They help us decide whether we view our struggles as insurmountable walls or as opportunities for growth and resilience. Think of a time when you faced a major setback, a job loss, a failed project, or even a personal loss. How did you respond? Did you allow the situation to define you, or did you draw upon the beliefs that gave you strength to push forward? The way you approach challenges reveals a great deal about the beliefs you hold and the power those beliefs have in shaping your destiny. One of the most poignant examples of belief in action is the story of Thomas Edison, the famous inventor. Edison faced countless failures before achieving success with the invention of the light bulb. He encountered over 1,000 failed experiments, but each time he chose to believe in his vision and in the possibility of success. When asked about his numerous failures, Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Edison's unwavering belief in his purpose, despite repeated setbacks, ultimately led to a breakthrough that changed the world. In daily life, the beliefs we choose to hold can be just as powerful. Take, for example, a teacher who believes that every student has the potential to succeed. Even when faced with difficult classrooms or challenging students, that belief allows them to stay committed to helping others and pushing through obstacles. This steadfast belief doesn't just shape the teacher's actions, it also transforms the student's potential. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of controlling what is within our power. He wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." This quote underscores the power our beliefs have over our happiness and overall well-being. The thoughts and beliefs we choose to entertain determine the outcomes of our lives, for better or worse. So ask yourself, what beliefs are currently shaping your life? Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck in fear and doubt? By carefully choosing which beliefs to trust, we can create the foundation for a life of strength, growth, and fulfillment. Number 6, focus on self-improvement. In the journey of life, many of us often feel distracted or pulled in multiple directions by external forces. The modern world constantly demands more from us, whether it's the pressure of work, the expectations of others, or the lure of social status. But what truly defines who we are? In Stoic philosophy, the answer is simple. The person we choose to become is shaped by our commitment to self-improvement. Think about someone who faces hardship without complaining. Someone who, despite their challenges, chooses to grow. This commitment to bettering oneself is the foundation of strength and resilience. For instance, imagine a young artist struggling to be recognized. In a world where fame and success are often seen as the only measures of worth, this artist doesn't give up. Instead, they focus on honing their craft, learning from each failure, and improving day by day. Over time, the art they produce is a reflection of their relentless pursuit of excellence, not just in technique, but in patience, perseverance, and character. Self-improvement isn't about being perfect. It's about consistently striving to be better, even when external circumstances seem overwhelming. The Stoics believe that growth begins within. As the philosopher Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Whether it's a setback at work, a personal challenge, or a failure, how we respond is what ultimately defines us. In each moment of struggle, there lies an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. Now think about the lives of those who inspire you. Perhaps it's someone who's overcome great adversity, like a leader who turned hardship into triumph. A figure like Malala Yousafzai, who was shot for advocating for girls' education, yet still emerged as one of the world's leading voices for education and peace. Her strength didn't come from external recognition or wealth. It came from her unshakable commitment to her cause, her belief in the power of education, and her relentless drive to make the world a better place. This brings us to a profound truth shared by many wise figures throughout history. Self-improvement is a continuous journey. It requires us to reflect on our actions, learn from our mistakes, and never settle for mediocrity. Jesus once said, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled." This highlights that the pursuit of virtue, seeking to live in alignment with higher values, is a journey that fills us with purpose, satisfaction, and true fulfillment. But it's not always easy. There will be moments when the path of self-improvement feels steep, or when we're tempted to give up. We might even question whether the effort is worth it. But think about this. Even in nature, growth requires patience. A tree doesn't rush to grow. It takes its time, steady and strong, until it reaches its full potential. Similarly, self-improvement requires us to be patient with ourselves, to trust the process, and to keep going, even when the results are not immediately visible. Focusing on self-improvement isn't just about acquiring more knowledge or skills. It's about deepening our character, improving our emotional intelligence, and becoming more aligned with our core values. The journey toward becoming the best version of ourselves is lifelong, but with each step, we bring more light into our lives and the lives of others. This in itself is the ultimate reward, a life lived with purpose, growth, and an unwavering commitment to becoming better with each passing day. So let's make self-improvement a lifelong mission, because as we evolve, so too does the world around us. Number 7, practical wisdom for living a balanced life. Have you ever found yourself overwhelmed by the chaos of everyday life, juggling finances, relationships, and personal goals, and wondered how to bring it all together with peace and clarity? Stoic philosophy offers timeless practical wisdom to help us navigate these challenges. It encourages us to focus on what truly matters and let go of the distractions that often lead us away from living a fulfilled life. When it comes to finances, have you ever felt the constant pressure to acquire more? Stoicism teaches that true wealth doesn't lie in accumulating possessions or endless material gains. As Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Instead of constantly chasing after more things, Stoic philosophy urges us to reflect on what is truly valuable: our health, knowledge, relationships, and inner peace. Practically, this might mean focusing on long-term investments like education and self-improvement, rather than spending on fleeting pleasures. It's about living simply, understanding that wealth is not about having more, but appreciating what we already possess. In our relationships, have you ever felt frustrated by miscommunication or the urge to be heard before truly listening? Stoicism highlights the importance of empathy and patience. Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In a world full of noise, true connection comes from listening, not just hearing, but truly understanding others. When we listen deeply and without judgment, we not only create stronger relationships, but we also open ourselves to learn and grow. Stoicism teaches us that it's not about asserting our opinions, but about being present with others and cultivating an environment of understanding and respect. Have you ever struggled with saying no or protecting your own space? Stoic philosophy encourages us to set clear boundaries and focus on what we can control. It's easy to become overwhelmed when we try to meet everyone else's expectations. However, respecting our personal boundaries is not selfish. It's a way to preserve our emotional and mental well-being. By knowing our limits and maintaining a sense of self-respect, we can avoid unnecessary stress and ensure that we are not sacrificing our inner peace for the sake of external demands. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control and let go of the rest. Incorporating Stoic principles into daily life doesn't mean avoiding life's difficulties. It means facing them with wisdom, patience, and resilience. The beauty of Stoicism is that it helps us create a foundation for peace and purpose, allowing us to navigate the complexities of life with greater ease and clarity. By simplifying our approach to life, whether it's our finances, relationships, or boundaries, we can live with more intention and fulfillment. So ask yourself today, how can you apply Stoic wisdom to your life? Whether it's managing your finances, strengthening your relationships, or respecting your own boundaries, you have the power to live more intentionally and create a life that reflects your true values. As we reflect on the insights we've gained, it's clear that the teachings of Stoic philosophy offer more than just timeless wisdom. They serve as beacons, lighting the way toward a deeper, more fulfilling life. While I often wish I had encountered these lessons sooner, sharing them with you now feels like a way to pass on the gifts of clarity and growth that I've received. From learning how to control our emotions, to cultivating a strong sense of self-worth, from practicing patience to selecting beliefs that guide us, every lesson carries the potential to truly change our lives. Stoicism gives us tools to navigate life's turbulence with calm, to face challenges with unwavering confidence, and to embrace growth in every experience we encounter. Change doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and dedication, the application of these principles can slowly transform your life. I hope what I've shared serves as a spark for you to embark on your own journey of growth and discovery. May Stoic philosophy become your guide, helping you move closer to true peace and lasting happiness. Thank you for joining me on this exploration. May your path be filled with purpose, growth, and the strength to continue evolving.